What is the most important thing in your life right now, and how much would you be willing to do to get it? This is a question Frank McCourt poses in the book Angel's Ashes.
What is the most important thing in your life right now, and what would you be willing to do to get it?
The most important thing in my life, I would say it's my friends right now, because they really help me adjust to everything high school has thrown at me so far. And I think I would do a lot for my friends because they've helped me so much, and I've gained such a connection with them.
The most important thing in my life right now is probably my future, like in college, and my relationship with my family. And I know it's like been bad before, so like it's super important to me to keep like my relationships the way they are. So I'd probably give up like most of my time to be able to get that.
Probably my computer, and I would have to replace the parts when they eventually wear out, I guess.
I think that the most important thing in my life right now is my cat, and I just really hope that I don't run it over if he ever gets out, so.
Probably my phone, and literally anything. No one can take this thing away from me, no matter how hard they try.
That's pretty simple and easy for me. The most important thing to me in my life is my daughter. And yeah, I would go to the extreme for her. I would lay down my life, or I would kill for her if they came to that. I'm not saying that that's what I want to do, but yeah, it's pretty simple for me.
Probably, that's a good question. I think that probably maintaining good grades and still being able to hang out with my friends. And I'd be willing to put in a lot of time to be able to get good grades and just put in the work so I'm able to hang out with my friends.
Shit, I don't know. I play baseball, so I'm already doing it, I guess.
Well, would you give up anything to maintain it?
Probably not.
No?
Probably not. That's a deep question. Probably success. And honestly, anything. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really got an answer past that.
I would probably say my family and the well-being of my family. I care a lot about my mom and my dad and my sister, so I would do anything to make sure that they're doing well.
I'd probably just say my job. I really like my job, and it's a good pay. And I think I would probably work harder to keep it, I guess, but yeah. My family and friends, and to keep it would be to not go to college and just stay here the whole time. Yeah.
Probably my family and myself's health and well-being. I'd do anything to keep it.
I guess for right now, the most important thing for me would be grades and college, because that's kind of the next step in where I'm going. And what I do for that, I mean, I'm already doing quite a bit, like school, studying, just keeping my stuff straight. Wouldn't do anything really too extra, but yeah.
Angela's Ashes is about a poor, dysfunctional Irish family during the Great Depression. We see the world through the eyes of Frankie, the oldest son, and witness the disregard for the future reflected in almost every character.
Just as Roland Barthes says, Frank McCourt poses a question in his book, but he doesn't provide an answer. McCourt tells his story to the reader, but never provides any elaboration about how he feels about the events or what he wishes he had done. McCourt leaves it up to the reader to decide how they feel about the book and how they want to answer his question. It's up to each and every person to decide where they draw the line, on when to stop, or to even decide if there's a line at all.
Alright, this is our first quote, page 37 of the book. Frankie's baby sister has just died, and despite having hungry children at home and no money to spare, Malachi, the father, goes out to drink. Malachi isn't technically an abusive father, but one could argue that he does actually care about his family. A good example of this is that every night when he isn't drunk, he takes the children and tells them Irish folk tales before they go to sleep. He also gives up drinking while Frankie's little sister is alive. Despite caring about his family, however, he still chooses to drink away any money that they have rather than supporting his family. This quote shows the theme that people will often choose to satisfy short-term desires at the expense of a better future, as Malachi chooses alcohol over his family. Malachi goes out drinking many times besides this, even drinking away his entire week's wages almost every week, which is 3 to 5 pounds, $194 to $324 in today's money. This quote displays that even though people know what they're doing is wrong, they will do it anyway to achieve that short-term satisfaction.
This is our second quote, is from page 186. The context for this is that the McCourts were sent 5 pounds, which is about $324 today, as a gift for their newborn child, money that was supposed to be used for food and necessities. Despite this, Malachi uses it all and drinks it away in one night. The most important thing to Malachi in this moment was drinking and not his family. He was willing to use this money irresponsibly, satisfying his short-term desires for alcohol and not long-term needs like food and other necessities. This quote shows the theme that people will often choose to satisfy short-term desires at the expense of a better future, as Malachi once again chooses alcohol over the well-being of his family. Malachi has a serious drinking problem, and he drinks away his wages almost every week. Even when his children are starving, he drinks away any money he can find. This quote displays that people will use their money in incredibly irresponsible ways in order to fill their short-term desires.
This is our third quote, and it's from page 250. Throughout the book, we see many cases of people choosing short-term satisfaction over a better future, but here we see something different. In this passage, we see Angela giving up her pride and begging for food so that her children can eat. By doing this, she is actively putting herself through hardship in order to feed her children and provide them with some semblance of a future. This shows another side to the theme that people will often choose to satisfy short-term desires at the expense of a better future. This shows that Angela is putting her desires aside for her children. To Angela and to the people of Limerick, which is the city where they live, begging is seen as one of the most shameful acts a person can commit. But she still chooses to do this in order to provide for her children. Angela goes to desperate lengths in order to provide for her children, enduring the shame of begging, and later on even somewhat prostituting herself to ensure that her children have a roof over their heads. This quote shows that despite most people choosing their short-term desires over a better future, there are some that will sacrifice in order for a better future, or in this case, a better future for her children.
So Frankie has just found out that he is a bastard, which in this time meant that he was conceived out of wedlock, and the Catholic faith for bastards is the place of limbo, which is between heaven and hell, and he is told that the only way he can escape being doomed is by lighting a candle and praying to the Virgin Mary, which would cost 1 penny, and despite knowing this, he still uses the 1 penny to go and buy toffee, and this action isn't due to any doubt that God and hell are real, but simply because he can't resist the temptation of the toffee, showing a complete and total disregard for his future, or what he believes is his future. This quote shows that the theme that people will often choose to satisfy short-term desires at the expense of a better future, as Frankie chooses to condemn himself to hell, essentially, despite fully believing that he is going to hell, he still actively makes the choice to buy the toffee instead of saving his soul from damnation. This shows that even when confronted with the most important decisions in people's lives, people will still choose short-term desires and satisfaction, and which essentially ruins themselves in the process.